Hello, and welcome to another episode, whatever, of Metaphysical Moments. Um, I'm doing this today because a few weeks ago, let's see, it was June 11th, 2020, I wrote a, uh, a newsletter, and this is live. I just thought of something I forgot, but I'm doing this live because I wrote this newsletter, and it's called Living in the Chrysalis. And I know that a lot of people either don't like to read or it's hard to read on the phone or something like that. So I was going to make a video out of it. And then I went ahead and, let's see, I recorded it like 5 times, and then I got all these pictures together, and I was going to edit it, and I was like, this is going to take forever. So my inner guidance said, you know what? Do what you've been doing, do it live. So I'm doing it live here on Sunday because it takes a while for YouTube to process it. And then Monday, when the newsletter normally goes out, this is going to go out to my subscribers. So that's metaphysicsforlife.com if you want to go there and subscribe to off-ramp updates. Anyway, so I thought what I'm going to do here is read this to you and add a few comments to it as well, so you get a little more added value, and see how this goes. Thank you. So again, this is Living in the Chrysalis, off-ramp updates, the newsletter for metaphysicsforlife.com. It's dated Thursday, June 11th, 2020. Hello, dear friend. Whether you're a new friend or an old one, because I've been publishing this letter now for over 10 years, I am so glad that you are here. Many years ago, I started a business that I called Magic Moment Butterflies. I raised and released thousands of butterflies for special events. The business only lasted a few years, but what I learned from the experience changed my life forever. Now, anyone who studies spiritual development will eventually come across the metaphor of the caterpillar and the butterfly. The caterpillar represents the ego phase of spiritual development, and it can be individual spiritual development or collective, which is what I'm going to talk about here. And the butterfly represents an enlightened stage of awareness. But what about the chrysalis? All right, people don't usually talk about that one. But to get from that caterpillar to the butterfly, there has to be a period of transformation, and it's a period of stillness when the old forms and structures are dissolved and are used as raw material to create new forms and structures. Now, when I say stillness, I mean it looks quiet from the outside, but on the inside, there's way more going on than we would ever observe in the life of the caterpillar or the butterfly. In the chrysalis stage, which seems to be hanging there doing nothing, it's actually the most active stage of this entire process. Humanity has entered the chrysalis stage of its collective development. Let me explain why. The ego phase has been all about consumption and growth. Lost my place. Here we are. It reached its peak when we tapped in collectively to the energy of fossil fuels. The butterfly phase, which is about creativity and connection, will be fueled by the energy that we called the 0 point field. It's an infinite field of energy and information which we can use to create unlimited resources. And we're not that far away from it. I know it seems like it now. When I asked Source, how long will we be in the chrysalis phase? Because of course, being human, I'm anxious to become a butterfly. I think we all are. And so I was told to look it up. I did, and I found out that it takes 10 to 14 days for the chrysalis to become a butterfly. But what does a day mean in this context? I was told that each day represents an area of human society that needs to be dissolved and rebuilt to complete this transformation. These 14 days, as they were given to me, are this. Number one is energy. Again, I'm saying that we're going to transition to 0 point energy. It's actually already has been discovered. It's available. It just needs to be released. Food is going to be regenerative. Okay, we're going to restore our soils, our air, and our water. And water, the word I got for that was prayer, because the way that we've been treating our water, poisoning it, funneling it through these dark pipes, making it make right turns and stuff, is very damaging to the water. And when we consume it, we're made up mostly of water, and so that has a effect upon us as well. So it's going to be about prayer. We're going to be giving water energy like that. Housing. The tiny house movement will continue, and earth ships finally will become a thing. I mean, they've gotten to the level now where it could be mainstream. There will also be things like 3D printing and stuff like that. But the way we build houses now, stick built and all that waste going to the landfills, that's going to be gone. Transportation, ET transportation, which, I'm getting a breeze here, I hope the phone doesn't blow over. That's finally going to be released and made available. Again, it will run on zero-point energy or other forms of advanced, not consuming fuels. What else? Health. Health is going to be all about vibration and frequency. Many of us already know this, but that's going to become mainstream. This mechanical vision of the way of the body that we've been using is going to go away. Communications will be quantum. Okay, this is important. I want to point this out to you because we're so afraid of the G, okay? I don't know if I want to say the word and get taken off of YouTube. But yeah, it's going to be quantum. In fact, it's closer than you think. It really is. Totally safe. And quantum, the way quantum works, it doesn't have to travel through space and time. Quantum is, when it happens here at exactly the same moment. So, yeah, that's going to be good. Education is going to be all about experience. In Sanskrit, the word to know means to go through. So to know means to go through. So learning is going to be experience, not this rote memorization or hearsay. And you might say, well, what about history? Okay, I thought about that, and I was like, well, we'll all know how to remote view. So we'll be able to remote view to the past and actually see what happened instead of having to, believe what others have written about it. Won't that be fun? I can actually do some of that, but I don't want to brag. Let's see. Spirituality and consciousness. That is going to be all about connecting the heart and the mind. Name of this channel, Mind with Heart. Because the heart is the gateway to source, who you really are. That's the way it needs to happen. Politics will be all about sovereignty. Sovereignty of the individual, of the nation, if there's nations, of the globe, and even galactic sovereignty, because we will be at that level. Science, metaphysics, yay! We're finally going to transition to the study of the true nature of reality and not this kind of religious belief kind of thing that's going on right now. That will change. For art, I got nature. Now, I don't know if that means that nature will be art or if art will bring out our true nature, but that's the word that I got, art, nature. Music will be calibrated to 432 hertz, which is a healing frequency. And then finally, day 14, dance and sports. Will be all about beauty and cooperation instead of competition, which we have now. It was interesting that they put, whoever was talking to me, put dance and sports in the same category. I just want to mention here right now that when I write these newsletters, not always, but most of the time, I sit down and I download and I receive something and I write it, and then I go back later and read it after I publish it. And I actually learn it for the first time when I do that. So I was really surprised when dance and sports were put in the same category, but it kind of makes sense, when you think about the movement of sports, and it'll become more like dance, whether it's football or basketball or golf or anything. Boxing and wrestling, I don't know. We'll see. I suppose that could be like dance as well. We'll find out. Anyway, I noticed that, hi Cosima, I'm just recording this ahead of time because if I record it and then upload it, I'll look at it and say, oh, I have to edit that out, or ooh, I made a mistake, and it'll take forever. So I just do it live, and it takes a long time to process, and people will see it tomorrow. So, anyway, I noticed after I was given this incredible list that money was missing from it. So I asked why, and I was told that economics would be replaced by measurements of success and well-being in each of these 14 days or categories. Caterpillars munch on leaves, which the plant needs to create energy and growth, but butterflies sip on nectar, which plants produce to attract pollinators, which leads to the creation of fruit. So in a similar way, our economy is going to become about creating more life, not consuming it. Okay. And yes, the butterfly then lays eggs, which becomes a caterpillar, which eats, but that's part of the cycle of life. Okay. So each of us is playing a part in this transformation, this total transformation of humanity. Some of us are like the cells of organs that are being dismantled and reorganized into new structures and functions. Some of us are part of the teams that are carrying out this transformation, and some could be playing the role of the skin that's protecting the chrysalis during the transformation. There are many roles that are being played here. So whatever part each of us plays, try to remember that we can't play the same role. So be open-minded and forgiving of those who seem to be creating problems and chaos, because they might be performing an essential function, one that causes dissolving and crumbling of old forms and creating resources and energy that we can use to create new forms. So I am looking forward to the emergence of the human butterfly. I don't think it's going to be that much longer. I know we've been saying this in spiritual teaching for a long, long time, but I really think in the next few years a lot of this is going to happen. Most people are just talking right now. It is summer of 2020, and they're just talking now about, you know, all the crises that are going on, and dealing with that. There's a lot to deal with that there. So not many people are looking forward to what's next. Where are we going? So I guess that's why I downloaded this, why I was guided to write this. You can click the link below this video and go to the newsletter and read it yourself. I might create a section on the website about living in the chrysalis or spiritual life of butterflies, and expand on each of these areas and talk more about them. But at some point, you know, we're going to have to focus on where are we going next. People still think that we're going to go back to normal, and that can't happen. It's not going to happen. If we did go back to that normal, remember what it was like? I mean, we're heading down a super highway to, you know, extinction and planetary destruction. We don't want to go there. So I hope not. I don't want to. Anyway, so I do hope it happens in my lifetime. I think that a lot of this is going to happen in the next few years, and definitely in the next few decades. There's no way to know exactly how long each of these days or years that it might require. But in the meantime, I want you to take a moment every day and connect to Source and ask for guidance. And the way I was told you can do this is remember to breathe, okay? Focus on your heart. And I was told to say to yourself, I am one. Because what you're saying here is you're focusing on your heart, you're focusing on Source, who you really are, and that Source is saying to you, I am one. Okay? And hopefully that, you know, opens your heart, gives you some inner guidance. That's it for now. Like I said, I'll put a link below the video so that you can go read this again if you want to. And yeah, we'll see how this goes, and I'll keep doing it. And that's it. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.